What is up? Oh my God, we're back. It's like a reunion episode, except it's only been 5 months since our last Young Living v doTERRA stream, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the live chat on the screen. Real quick, live chat, can y'all tell us if the audio is okay on your end? Because we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it set.
I think you sound fine. Normal.
Perfect. Let's see.
My face is really big right now. Coconut is in my show. I can't sit down yet until she decides to move.
Oh, Coconut, enjoying the Saturday afternoon. Love it.
And she is queen of the house, so I can't move her.
Oh my gosh. Yes, my floof is the king of our house, so he gets everything that he wants. Oh, Coconut! Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. Let me actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn on main stereo. Okay. I know we love a floof break, and we're gonna need it because Gary Young. Oh, okay. Let's give live chat a recap because we probably have some new buddies here from this nonsense. We've been. I'll just say what we've been reading, and I'll let the brains behind our operation Cat explain the other stuff. Basically, Young Living is the master Jedi of information control. And we found so much stuff out with Kira and everything else that she's been revealing and Kat's been revealing. And come to find out with this lawsuit that Gary Young confirmed all of the stuff that we said was going on behind the scenes. Moonlighting as a doctor, making a hostile work environment because of religion and all that other fancy stuff. So we've been reading this line by line, and I'll let Kat add some stuff while I figure out my technical difficulties and pull up the transcript. So
yeah, it's been a while. We learned a lot about kind of how there's some manipulation on the end as far as like how they like you mentioned the he said that it wasn't really spiritual, which he was still using the same kind of verbiage and still having that same kind of pushing of guilt on employees, and so that's still not really cool. Yeah, and I mean this has been back, but 17, that's when this happened. But I guess it was later this year, August, when we got access to the transcripts, and then we started reading it.
Yep.
After that, it was around that time. But yeah, we've just our schedules have kind of conflicted, and then I feel like this is still the start of the year. I know it's already moved the second quarter of the year, but the first quarter of the year has just flown by.
Yes. Yep, it absolutely has.
Time we were able to like get on and get back to it.
Yep. Let me see. I'm still having all right. I think I'm looking for page 700, but I can't find it for some reason. So let me go over here.
The page 700. Oh, okay. On the top.
Yeah, on the top corner. Yep.
700.
Or were we way past that? Maybe I pulled up the wrong Young Living versus doTERRA thing. Let me see. Your channel. Manage videos.
I don't know why the one that I last sent in December, there is no. Is it showing any kind of on there?
Let me see. I'm just gonna manually go look for the old video because I think I must have not added it to the playlist, and then I'm maybe looking for a further page and I have the correct one open. Yeah, and we're reading this line by line because Young Living is so good at information control, and some of the parts are boring as hell and some parts are so interesting because of the tea that's revealed. Like, Young Living did not have enough farms to supply their customer base. And so that confirmed that they have been using other farms. What's it called? I'm losing my words right now because I'm nervous, but
like white labeling
yep.
other
And
oils.
so them saying that they've never gone out and bought oils from anybody else and put them as their own label is false, in my opinion. But that's what the transcripts say too.
I'm gonna check my audio. It should be fine. It's from me.
Kat's audio is being okay. Sorry, I didn't read that.
My echoes. Suppression's on audio input. Okay, this is my Mac.
That sounds good.
The computer now?
Yep, that sounds fine.
Okay, my computer's better than my microphone external, I guess.
Yeah, it's the spirit of Gary Young kind of trying to battle against us reading this shit. So, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. I'm trying to be so good, and I'm like, oh, it just came out. It just
It's
literally
not a
came
moral
out.
thing. Well, I guess it could be for some, but
yeah. Okay, I think I found it.
So
Let's see.
I am that transcript from November 9th, that was already in like the 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, I think I 5C is the one that I should have pulled up, and yes, it's 1,072 that we're at. So we have the correct transcript. My bad. Okay. 1,073.
I was like 700 was way back.
Yes. Okay. I need to update my list on that. So I have it and it's downloaded. Let me add it into the screen, share screen, add source, local file, presentation, upload. There we go. Downloads, transcript.
This is highlighted all the way to page 1384, which is the reporter certificate.
Okay, great. And in the video I have, we went to page 1073 in 4 months ago, which was December. So I think this is the last one with Justin Harrison. Yeah. Okay, so we need 1074.
Okay, so this one was the one for the next time.
Yes. Let me see.
Okay.
Trial. Okay, so I think 1,071. Oh, that's 100. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see. Is this it? Let me try this one real quick and see if this is correct. And I'm gonna. Oh, why are we so small? Nope. Let me fix this. Sorry.
Oh no, I was repeating myself. I'm glad. I wonder what was working or what was happening.
Okay.
I'm glad it sounds good though. Now.
Let's see. Let me.
Yay.
Oh wait. This is the wrong one. Oh dang it.
That is so tiny.
I know. I'm just like, we may have to pull the chat out, but I think. What? Oh, because I don't have it in. All right. Now we know.
We're just chilling.
Yep. Just hanging out with all of our buddies, trying to wait for DC to get her stuff together.
Back to it.
Let's see. Got to get back in the swing of things. This is 3.0. No. I'm basically off by 100 pages for some reason, and I'm not sure what is up. Let me see if it's this one. Let's see if it's this one. 1,179. I'm missing 100 pages for some reason.
I think we had passed that because we were already talking about Gordon Herbert and Julie Herbert.
Okay. So we were on like 1,180 something?
I think further.
Oh, okay. So the ones that I'm pulling up from 11.9 are the correct ones. So 11.
Yeah. Because there's the cross Gordon and the cross redirect. And then there's Julie Herbert's all of hers.
Okay, I see that.
I think we were already on those people. Like we had moved.
Okay. So we're on like 1332. Judy Jellings. Oh wait, I thought we talked about Judy Jellings.
See, okay.
I thought, and Susie
Yeah.
Bagwell. It's like some of these sound familiar. At least Judy Jellings does, because I know I messed up her name several times when I was. I have distinct memories about that. So what?
Okay. So yeah, so I was thinking like we were already on past that. So
Okay, let me go back then, because I'm looking at the Justin Harrison video, so I'm gonna go back. I must have missed it. Let's see. October. Oh yeah, October, November. I know we did it in December. Oh yeah, there we go. 5F. There we go. November 5th, I see now. It just has the wrong cover on it. And then I have, let me go back another page. Sorry, live chat. This is just, normal operating procedure for me, but I hate to take Kat down with me, but
no, this is just as much me.
Oh my gosh. It's a lot of paperwork. If you can imagine, there's 4,000 pages in this I think there's over 4,000 pages in this transcript, and we're
a quarter,
a
over
lot.
a quarter for
Oh,
sure.
good.
Though.
Yeah, we've done so many streams at this point that it's hard to keep track of everything. December. We did one in December, right?
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm looking in November, and let me go back one more page.
We were still on the volume 6.
Okay. Find Young Living. Okay, and this is in, let me go back.
And Susie Bagwell would be 1353.
Okay.
Let's see. 1320. Coconut. He loves to play with these.
Oh my gosh. Here we are.
Maybe it was Susie Bagwell. Or Susan.
Let's see. Okay. I found, no, that's too far ahead. Okay, that's November 5th. Let me just go to your channel. Sorry, live chat.
I have a lot less videos, so they probably.
No, I'm I need to not do this. I'm like looking at my live streams and like, this is wrong. This is a bad way to do it. Kat Benson.
I can look too.
I got it. I'm okay. Here we go. Live. And 5F looks young. Yeah, 5F I think is where we're at, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just click on this. I'm gonna pause it so I don't have an echo, and I'm gonna look at the page.
I'm scrolling through the page too on it.
1243. 12. There you go. 1244. Maybe. I think it's 1244. Where we ended up at.
Yep, that's what I have too. Yay! I should have just gone there originally.
Oh, no, you're good. Literally, when I say Kat is like the foundational piece of this live stream, that is what I mean, because we're finding all the good stuff. No, that's nothing negative to me. I'm happy to be associated here, so I'm happy. I'm very happy. Right. No negative stuff.
So we start at the cross-examination of Herbert, Julie Herbert. That's Julie Herbert.
Okay.
On page 1244.
Okay.
67 of volume 6. We're good. We figured it out.
Julie Herbert. Okay. Right?
Hello.
The cross by Mr. Gaylord. Yes, because that's 1244. That's what you just said. Okay. Okay.
There we are. Hello, everybody. We haven't said hello, everybody.
Technical difficulties. Who are we? Just kidding. Okay, let me open this up in open a new window.
So I'm gonna close mine now.
Okay, great. How do I? Present. Oh, there we go. I'm scrolling through, and I'm gonna share my screen.
Cough. It's because I'm getting over COVID. So
Yes.
I might have to push pause and cough.
No, that is cough away. We're glad that you're getting over it and that
I dodged it for 3 years, y'all. It finally got me.
12:44. I'm gonna move my mouse over here. Okay, so then I'm gonna share my screen with my Chrome tab because this is how we're gonna do it. Window, Chrome tab. Let's see which
The
one is this.
background that you have on you is so peaceful.
It's my sad raining background. No, I love it. I'm just like, I wish my room was actually like this, but it's
Right.
not.
So that kind of weather brings me so much happiness and not sadness. I don't know.
I'm trying to
Like,
figure
I would
out
take
this.
rainy weather over
Yes.
the
No,
sun.
I would too. I totally would. Let me see if I can make this better real quick. That's better. Live chat, we will make sure to put you back on the screen. And we're just going to do this so that y'all can actually read stuff because technical difficulties have struck again. I will put you back on the screen. We're going to take breaks because we need to have a live chat break. All right.
Perfect. So cross-examination by Mr. Gaylord. Do you want to be do you still have the voice?
I do.
I do have the voices. So I think we just need to start off the stream with Baby Snark. I think one of them needs to be Baby Snark, and just as a honorary welcome back to Young Living show. So
do you want me to be Mr. Gaylord or do you want me to be
whoever is Baby Shark? So chat, do you want Mr. Gaylord to be Baby Shark or Miss Herbert?
Yes. Y'all get to vote. That's the benefit of being on live. You get to control this adventure, and we're here for it because I hate making decisions. How is everyone doing? Sorry for the delay. It's just what happens here. Hope you all are doing well. Baby Snark makes me lol too much. Yes. I mean, something has to brighten up a transcript reading. You know what I'm saying? It's 6 a.m. and I just got home from work. Daisy B, welcome home. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope you had an okay day at work. I know work's kind of a touchy subject for most people, so.
Congrats, Rebecca, for passing your certification exam.
We love that for you. We love that. We love a certification for people. That's incredible, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Demon lawyer? Oh, we could be demon lawyer too. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Oh, Corinthians.
Oh. We're gonna get back. Yeah, we're gonna get back into this again because I love streaming with Kat. I love pulling the curtain back on Young Living. It is the combination that I'm here for. So we
no recommendations for who to be Baby Shark or Snark. Okay. Do you want it to be Mr.
Yeah, I'll be Mr. Gaylord if you want.
Or
Miss Herbert. I can be sassy either way. So
oh yeah, that might be good.
Yeah, I'll be Miss Herbert.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Miss Herbert. Okay.
We're ready.
Good morning, Miss Herbert. So I'm Mr. Gaylord. Okay. Good morning, Miss Herbert.
Good morning.
I represent Justin Harrison and Lillian Shepard, and I just have a few questions. You testified in response to a question by Mr. Straight that your husband helped you in your distributorship at Young Living. Do you recall that?
Uh-huh. Affirmative.
Was your husband, Gordon, also a director at Young Living?
Actually, I'm not really certain. I'd have to dig through some old files to see if we actually signed the distributorship, but he supported me.
Okay, like pausing that, just being in MLM beforehand, if your spouse is in there or not, because Upline will typically recommend that.
Yeah, you want your spouse to be a ghost account, so that you will funnel your purchases through your spouse or someone you have a control over, so that you get more money. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
My direct upline, her husband, she signed up her husband, and he like didn't do any of the work. He wasn't even a fan of the company.
Oh my God.
And then the top upline, so and in my story, I talked about the PhD level dietitian who got her PhD from a diploma mill. Her husband was actually technically my upline, even though he didn't do anything.
Yep.
So yeah, she would know if he was, in my opinion.
Yep.
But, okay. How did you learn about Young Living?
My brother, Greg Anderson.
Greg Anderson. And he's also a party to Mr. Harrison's accused of, and he's also a party whom Mr. Harrison's accused of soliciting in this case. Are you aware of that?
No.
Not aware of that. Okay. And who is your direct upline sponsor at Young Living?
Greg.
Greg?
Affirmative.
You testified you first met Mr. Harrison in approximately 1994 to 1995, right?
Yes.
And you were responding to an ad for a product that he was selling? And was that product in a multi-level marketing company?
Yes.
Do you recall the name of that multi-level marketing?
Yes.
What was it?
Equinox.
Did you ultimately become a distributor within that multi-level marketing company?
Yes.
So at that time, what kind of products do you recall Equinox providing?
They had a natural window cleaner, a natural cleaner, a toothpaste. They had water filtration systems. They had just products of that nature.
Okay. So at that time, you were also a Young Living distributor. You also became a Equinox distributor?
Yes, this is true.
And that was something that was permissible as you understood it under the policies and procedures of Young Living?
Yes.
Now, your husband testified about developing a strong friendship with Justin Harrison.
That was an accident, sorry.
My mouse slipped. Sorry. Sorry. It's just technical difficulties all day.
Strong friendship with Justin Harrison. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Oops.
Yes.
Did you also become good friends with Mr. Harrison?
Yes.
Did you socialize together?
Yes.
Frequently?
Yes.
And where did you meet Mr. Harrison first?
At his office.
And where was that located? What city?
Idaho Falls.
Were you living in Idaho Falls at the time?
Yes.
He was living in Idaho Falls at the time?
Yes.
Were the communications between Justin Harrison primarily with your husband, or was it with you, or both?
It was both.
Fair to say you spoke regularly with Mr. Harrison over the years?
Yes.
You and your husband socialized with one another over the years?
Yes.
And if he came to town, you would visit?
Yes.
And did you become aware that Mr. Harrison had moved from Idaho Falls to take up employment with Young Living?
Yes.
You attended his wedding?
Yes.
What was your reaction to Mr. Harrison's decision to take up employment with Young Living?
That was a shock as well.
And why is that?
Well, Equinox was going strong, and I believe he was doing pretty well at Equinox. And he just didn't seem like somebody that would, want to maybe work for the company. He actually, I don't know. I mean, I was shocked. Yeah.
Maybe she was shocked, but in reality, he might have been doing well with the company, but how well is that in reality? Like, you can be at top ranks of MLM distributorship and be making a lot of money, but you could also be at top levels and not be making a whole lot of money.
Yep.
So, okay. That's not what the lawyer said. Okay. What impact did that have on his building a business at Young Living and your business?
Well, yeah. So he was in my organization, so he no longer could build in my organization.
What happened to his downline, as you recall?
His downline rolled up, so to speak.
What does that mean, roll up?
It means that those he enrolled would have been removed from that position, and other people in my organization would have received benefit from his enrolling other people.
So explain for the jury, if I can. You have you're the sponsor for Mr. Harrison at Young Living.
Uh-huh.
He is below you, frontline, maybe even 2 or 3 levels down below, right?
Uh-huh.
And if he leaves, he terminates his distributorship, right?
Uh-huh.
But the business that he built below would move up into his position, whatever's front line of him.
Yes.
Would move up to his position, correct?
Yes.
Really quickly, he's asking the questions that are just confusing. So basically, if he's frontline, he's one of the legs that she needs to maintain rank. Okay. And so they would either put someone in his spot or all the people would shift up. So it would ruin her structure. It would take her maybe a couple months to refigure out the organizing the legs, because basically Justin's front line would have rolled up into the person that he was under. So if in my case, when I left Young Living, if I hadn't sold my line, basically said you need to find someone to, in Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom or whatever, when he's trying to swap the, like, take the same weight and swap it so he doesn't set off the trap. That's like what that happens when you sell your line in a multi-level marketing company. You have me, and then you put someone there so that it replaces, so that no sucking up, no like rolling up happens, basically. So, okay.
I've always, when I was in MLM, the rolling up was always like advantageous, basically. Like, you didn't really care if somebody left, because then they would just be and then so you would get paid even a higher amount on like their commission.
Yes, in some cases in the Young Living structure, because you need legs to make rank. If you're one of your active legs left or stopped ordering, you lost rank, because you had to have that active leg. So my upline, someone stopped ordering and she was at silver, about to be at gold. She fell all the way to executive because that girl stopped ordering, and so it did end up rolling up, but it took about 4 months to build up that new person that had sucked up the roll up, basically, to build it herself back to silver. I know it sounds confusing. It is confusing. It's just a whole MLM show.
That's what's so scary about MLM. I remember at one of the conferences that I was at, so when the one that I was in, you wouldn't lose rank, but you would just have to, like, you would still be the same title, but obviously your points would be like so low if somebody did leave, who was a big part of your organization. But at one of the conferences, there was a national marketing director speech, because she had made it all the way to the top, and she had mentioned about how she had almost made it up to the top like a couple years prior, and her main person like just left, and so she had to completely rebuild from like the bottom.
Yep.
And everybody thought that was such a inspirational story. I was over here sitting like, this can happen.
Yep. And that's why they encourage you to have your partner ghost accounts as one of your top ranks, because you're invested in making that order every month, so you never lose one of those legs. So all of the Royal Crown Diamonds on their front line have their spouse as one of their main legs. At least in Young Living, Royal Crown Diamond, you need 6 legs, I think, doing $1.5 million in volume a month, I think. And so it's a lot of volume, but they want one of those legs to be their spouse, so they can be assured that they will never stop ordering.
Yeah.
So
so reliant on other people, and that's so scary.
Yep.
Okay. So we're on line 19 or 20, I think.
Yes.
Okay. And then you and those that are his original sponsors or upline would be responsible for attending to that downline.
That is true.
And fair to say you and your husband remained in contact with Mr. Harrison after he became an employee?
Yes.
Now, your husband, Gordon Herbert, testified he moved to St. George in around 2005. Do you recall?
Yes.
You stayed in Idaho Falls?
Yes.
Why?
He started a mortgage company, and I stayed in Idaho Falls because our youngest son was finishing his last year of high school, and so I stayed there to get him graduated.
Okay, and you joined your husband in St. George after you graduated?
Yes.
You testified briefly about, just see if I can find in my notes on this. You were shown an Exhibit 61, which was your husband's enrollment form with doTERRA. And your response to some questions from Mr. Straight, you responded that there were people leaving. I think you mentioned an individual by the name of Mr. Bird or Spencer. Did I get those two names written down correctly? Landon Bird?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
I don't either. Okay, I'm just trying to remember who the two individuals were that you recall leaving Young Living. You were testifying to Mr.
LaVon Birch.
Birch, and who else?
As far as I know, there's a man by the name of Spencer. I don't remember his last name.
Okay.
It's a long time ago.
Were you, as part of your role as a distributor, familiar with the executives that were basically managing Young Living over the course of the years you were a distributor?
Uh-huh.
And did you experience a turnover in terms of the executive management there?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to meet David Sterling while he was with Young Living?
Yes.
And in what circumstances would you have met Mr. Sterling?
I was at an event in California.
Okay. What kind of event was that?
I believe it was like they had an East Coast maybe convention and a West Coast convention, and I believe it was the West Coast convention.
Okay. He was present?
Yes.
Did he speak?
Beg your pardon?
Did he speak during that convention?
I don't recall.
How about, do you know Emily Wright?
Yes.
How do you know Emily Wright?
My association with Young Living.
And what was your interaction with Miss Wright?
Well, she was very instrumental in a lot of the business as far as Young Living goes, so she was very well known.
Okay.
She spoke a lot at the conventions.
Let me ask you some questions. You were asked a question about whether or not Mr. Harrison spoke at conventions. Do you recall that testimony?
At Young Living conventions?
Yes.
Yes.
And Young Living hosted a number of different types of conventions, right?
Events and conventions, yes.
They had their annual convention, right?
Yes.
And you, in fact, testified you went to the DC convention, and you might have gone to a subsequent convention of Young Living, right?
Yes.
And your experience was that Mr. Harrison would often speak at those conventions, right?
Yes.
And the types of areas he would focus on were, I think you testified things like motivational. He would talk about how to motivate people, right?
Yes.
Talk about the comp plan and how it worked.
Yes.
Talked about marketing plans and how you can market your business, right?
Right.
And in that regard, he was acting on behalf of the company, right? Speaking to those who came to his class, right?
Yes.
Fair to say those classes were attended by hundreds, if not thousands, of distributors?
Yes.
And then we have you want me to do the objections or
Sure.
you? Mr. Straight said objection vague, and the court says the court is the judge, by the way, if y'all I mean, I'm sure everyone's made their rounds on law too, but the court is synonymous with the judge. So the court said sustained, and we're I think that's Mr. Gaylord, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you attended those classes that Mr. Harrison attended, right?
Mr. Straight said, my objection just goes to, we've talked about lots of different classes. I'm just trying to nail that down, what we're talking about.
back to Mr. Gaylord. The classes you attended, I'm not really concerned about any other classes. The classes you attended, Mr. Harrison spoke at. Were there hundreds of distributors there?
I would say there's events. There's kind of a difference between class and event.
Fair enough. Let's use your term, events. During those events, Mr. Harrison would present, right?
Yes.
During those events that you attended,
Yes.
there were hundreds of distributors present.
Yes.
In fact, in some instances, there were thousands of distributors present.
Yes.
And when he taught or spoke, his classes were not directed to your team in particular. They were directed at whoever showed up and attended those events, right?
Yes.
Now, I think you testified you became aware of an individual by the name of Dr. Hill, right?
Uh-huh.
How did you become acquainted with Dr. Hill?
It was through Young Living as far as I recall.
And what was that interaction, if any, you had with Dr. Hill?
I remember he was going to be over a clinic, Young Living clinic. Oh my God.
Okay, pause. Young Living's clinic. And let me just go ahead and put the chat on. I know, we're going to take a chat break. Live chat. If you are new to this reading, and I know we have lots of familiar faces here, Young Living has a medical clinic, and they've gotten in trouble for having people associated with that clinic who I think don't have the correct medical licensure, or who have maybe a criminal. I don't remember exactly, but
Maybe
it's a whole thing.
Practicing without a license.
It's just a whole moment. I wish that our thing could populate all the chats that I'm seeing on the side. Sam, hello, everyone who's just joining us now. We are reading the Young Living transcript for the Young Living v. doTERRA. This has already been decided. doTERRA won this lawsuit, but that doesn't mean that we're like, yay, doTERRA is better than Young Living. They're both multi-level marketing companies. And it's still twisty because at the doTERRA convention last year, they were employing neurolinguistic programming, which is awful. It's just a medical clinic, Sam. It's just, yeah. And Gary Young was participating in surgeries was it in Ecuador?
With a big pen. We haven't gotten there yet.
You haven't gotten there yet. What's up, Savannah?
Hey, Savannah. Hey, Liv.
Y'all, Savannah has Young Living's number. If y'all don't already follow her, she has tons of videos that have thousands of views, and Young Living has tried to take some of her videos down. And so if you want to see some more Young Living stuff, definitely check out Savannah. And let me just tag Kat's channel here in the live chat so that y'all can go. It should link it on my channel for Kat. Nightbot should pull up her link for y'all too. Yep.
Very, very cool.
Well, yes, no one knows Sam. Yep. Yes. So there's Kat's link for her channel.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing enemas there. I wonder if they do.
Oh yeah. And someone else that Kat and I have reacted to was teaching people how to do essential oil enemas on the live stream. And we were not expecting it. Kat's face and my face were just like, oh my God, is this really happening?
Did her appeal go through? Because
Nope, she's out.
She's out of Young Living now. She got kicked out.
Yep.
Okay.
And she was not happy, and she also dissed the hell out of Amare on that call. She said, well, I'm not an emotional wreck or something like those people who need. Yeah.
Like if I was to be a distributor of Amare, then it wouldn't do anything.
It wouldn't work. Yeah. It was like, oh, the shade. Okay, the shade came to play. All right. Oh my God. Okay. Let me go ahead and live chat. I'm gonna have to pop you off the screen. I'm so sorry. And I will
back to the transcript.
Oh, no, wrong. There we go. We're back. Okay.
Sweet. Okay. So, the clinic. Okay. So, I said, okay. And then you're on 21.
And I referred a lot of my team or clients to the clinic. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. That's not what she said. And I referred a lot of my team or clients to the clinic.
Did you know anyone who worked at the clinic?
Yes, my daughter worked at the clinic.
Okay, when was that?
Sorry.
Live Style Rewind. I have a, what is it called? A TikTok on Instagram, Reel. That is 3 parts because they can only do it for so like short. And so I actually pulled out when she was talking about the enemas. So it's on my Instagram, and I don't post very often on there, so it's like easy to find on the Reels part. It's like purple background.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Okay.
The year, I'm not really certain.
Okay. But fair to say during that time you got to know Dr. Hill?
Yes.
And your husband got to know Dr. Hill?
Yes.
And I assume your daughter got to know Dr. Hill?
Yes.
Okay. You testified in response to a question by Mr. Straight that your view of Young Living changed. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me when your view of Young Living began to change?
I think it was kind of slow over time, but I think I had a huge wake-up call in Washington, D.C., specifically.
Ooh, tea. It's coming up. Okay. And what was it during the DC convention that gave you this wake-up call?
There was a lot of confusion at the convention. There was very little materials that were, I recall, that were good, that, I could implement in the, it was just, there was oops, the arrow's not working. There we go. Underlying seemed like anxious confusion and kind of anger sort of energy.
Okay. Can you give me any examples of what you observed while you were there that would create that type of energy, as you would say?
I remember Gary seemed really forceful at different points on stage, or I don't know, it was just off.
Okay.
Seemed off. I was actually quite uncomfortable. I didn't want to stay even for a lot of the training.
Did you have a practice of when you left these conventions of meetings and saying goodbye to Gary and Mary Young?
Yeah, I usually thanked, I would say, the Young Living people that hosted and put on the event. I thank them for their efforts and thank them.
Did you do that at the DC convention?
No.
Why not?
I just wanted to be done.
Okay. Did you have any concerns about the oils at Young Living during that period of time?
Well, I think there was concerns way before that period of time, actually. I had put a majority of my oils away, zipped them up, and put them in the far corner of my house. I only was using, a few. And Gary kind of taught that, if you didn't like the smell of the oils, that there was something out of balance with you. And so I just kind of assumed something was out of balance with me.
Oh no, she was just gaslighting her. I don't know if that's the proper term.
Yep.
But like,
Yeah, she's indoctrinating herself, and that covers all of Gary's bases. Because if you like the oils, you're going to use them. If you like the smells of the oils, you're going to use them. But if you don't like the smells of the oils, then you need them. It's so twisty. It's the twistiest thing that he has.
to use them. Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Literally. Oh no. And you think to yourself, if you've never been in Young Living, you don't really understand. This is how the progression of what happens. Toxins are bad for you. They're impacting you sometimes in a way that you don't even know. So you remove the cleaning products that are toxic. You get Thieves Cleaner. Then you're thinking to yourself, well, what else? What other ingredients are impacting me that I may not know? And so then you start replacing everything in your house. And then you see the benefits of the oils because like lavender has some things like lavender smell like can help you sleep or whatever. So then it's like reaffirmed in your mind that the oils work aromatically. And then you're saying all of them work. And then Gary says, well, you know what? If you don't like the smell of it, then you need it. And he, in his little essential oil Bible that I have, they talk about frequencies in the frequencies of oils and the frequency of your body. and that you can raise the frequency and all this stuff. I know it sounds woo-woo because it is. And you just get stuck. You just get stuck because it's layer upon layer upon layer of information that you've accepted and that you start to believe more and more as you are in there for longer and longer. It's twisty.
And then when you question it, they say to only, look at their resources, because if not, they're people who just didn't get it, or they were
because
mad. And
big pharma just wants to make money and doesn't want to keep you healthy, because if you were healthy, then they wouldn't make money. So of course they would have nothing on the internet that would promote essential oils, since they're so affordable. You know what I'm saying? I'm being sarcastic right now because I'm just repeating all the information that I was told when I was in Young Living. And I know it sounds twisty because it is twisty. Yeah. It's just twisty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Fair to say that after this convention was when you began to cease actively working your downline.
Yeah, I would actually say it was sometime before that, though, because yes, I would say yes.
You testified that in part it was because you were kind of moving away from all the drama, I think you said, of the oil business, right?
Yes.
So, like, there's always been drama around the oil business in Young Living. And you had other opportunities that you were focusing on?
Yes.
Could you tell the jury what other opportunities you were working on at that time?
So there's a company called HTE, and they sell machines. Oh my God. Chi machine,
Like the hair
e-power.
straightener?
No, I think it's like the chi, the energy of your
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay.
Chi machine, e-power, hot house. It's called a silky bed. The company is, well, Taiwan based, so to speak, but they have, it's here in the States, but their products and things were from Taiwan.
And explain what type of product is the e-power product.
The e-power?
Yes.
The e-power it's a belt that you put around your waist. And basically what it does is it helps with the ATP, adenosine triphosphate, at the cellular level. It increases the electrical power generator within the body, and it speeds up healing and helps with inflammation. It helps the sodium-potassium ratios. And a lot of people eat way too much sodium. So this is one way to help get the inflammation down in the body. And so that was one of the machines. The machines and the chi machine.
I'm sorry, I cannot. Okay.
A belt?
A belt
Is not going to help with your electrolytes.
Do you see
Or
why it's worth it to
ATP.
wait for the boring parts to get through? Because then this stuff comes up. There's a and now I want to look at this company because I'm sure it's an MLM company, but they are selling all this stuff to people who are looking for answers for their health, and they're claiming that it's impacting the ATP at the cellular level by wearing a belt.
I want to know if it was impacting the ATP, how it would do that without it being the cellular level. Because
yeah, because you can't really test it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's working. It's definitely
it's like when
working.
people say, it's absorbed and used at the cellular level. Yeah, everything is if you're using.
But you.
The cells use it. Cellular level sounds just so fancy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. That reminds me of those workout or exercise machines where you would stand and this little thing would go behind and it would just shake.
Yep. It worked out your muscles by just shaking the shit out of you. Yeah. I remember those. I do remember those. Yes,
Okay.
I'm guessing it does. But I think it's the energy from the belt that you're wearing that it's going to be able to impact you all day as you wear it from, the comfort of your belt loops. Yeah. I want to look at this company now.
Helps with inflammation.
Oh, not inflammation again.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
This was a machine that, what time of year, or when did that machine actually come out from HTE? Do you recall the date?
I don't recall the date.
Was it in the fall of 2007?
I'd have to look. I know that I had been working with the Chi and the Hot House for years. For years and years. I was working right alongside that company with Young Living. And then they introduced the e-power, but I'm not sure the time.
Okay. What other multi-level marketing companies did you work with during that period of time?
So there was a company I was holding. What was called? It was Wyora. And I was holding an Emerald Equity Share ownership of the company.
Were you really? What type of products did it offer?
Well, one specifically that I really was impressed with and was seeing a lot of good results from people using it. And it was a chelation product. It helped chelate out heavy metals and chemicals from the body. It also helped balance the pH and was an immunomodulator. So if someone's immune system was high, it balanced their immune system. Or if it was low, it brought their immune system to balance.
What?
What is happening?
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh my God.
First off, your body is at a very, the pH level that it's not going to move. If it's moving that much, you need to be in the hospital. The body can balance that out really well. And regardless of what you eat, it's still going to be in that very small range.
And if you have to get to the point where you need chelation therapy, because that's a thing, but it's more of through an IV, isn't it? Wouldn't you, what you're saying, wouldn't you need to be in a hospital setting?
If there was actually a problem pH wise, because regardless of what you eat, it's still going to make contact with your stomach acid, and that pH is very low, very acidic. So yeah.
Yeah. And Savannah, if you want this part of the transcript, it starts at page 1244. If you still have those, if you don't, we can send them to you. But it's hilarious. This is so much tea right now. One, someone in Young Living, but she's also using these other products that are just they're absolutely wild to read about. I can't. Oh my God.
Am I on 22? Or am I?
No. Were there any other multi-level marketing companies that you were working with in the 2007 timeframe?
Well, I don't know the exact time frame, but I know I enrolled in a chocolate company. Shoshi. I also enrolled in a company called Energy, and I had gotten what was called an AO scanner from that company.
Like the scanner that Young Living distributors often use, the Itovi?
Maybe, yeah. But you have to have certain qualifications, so I had to meet those qualifications to get the scanner.
I wonder what Shoshi was. Chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fair to say that in 2007 or before, you were focusing your intention and energy on other lines of business, not Young Living.
Yes.
Let me ask you, despite the fact, though, you did not terminate your distributorship in 2007, right?
Yes.
You did not terminate it in 2008?
I did not.
You did not terminate it in 2009?
No.
You continued to be an independent distributor until March of 2013?
Yes.
And after 2007, do you have a recollection of approximately what amount of product you were buying on an annual basis? What your personal buying was?
In 2007, I'm not really certain. I would have to look at the records.
Were you buying at least the very minimum?
Yes, because specifically, if you bought $100 worth of product, then you would receive a commission check from your organization.
A month, right?
Need to play. Yep.
Okay, explain to the jury what you mean by the term, what you understand the term, quote, personal volume, end quote, is.
So, personal volume is what I buy in my account or in my membership. So, it would have to equal 100 or more in product to equal the commission check to get the commission check.
Like, what if you don't need $100 worth of essential oils?
Your
Like,
SOL, your SOL. That's why they came up with the supplements in the consumables. So like the super expensive Ningxia and the Zing Energy, because you don't need more oils. You know that you're going to at least be able to drink something that month. And I say that's why they came up with that. That's just my assumption, because they needed something to be an easy, well, I want to be able to access my commission check. They have to pay to access their commission check, which is wildly different than any other business model. Like if I work for a company, I don't have to buy products to get paid. I just have to do the work that I was hired to do. And in Young Living, a lot of reps say, or a lot of pro MLM people say, well, it's just like having overhead. No, because if you do the work, if you sell the product, you don't get to have any commissions if you don't buy the product every month. It's not the same as having an overhead. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not like they just have to have $100 worth. Like it has to be from them. It's not like downline that it can be from.
Yeah. Yep. Oh,
Okay.
no. Yes. So there's another Twisty Young Living team, and they're called the Lemon Droppers, and they have the record for the fastest run to Royal Crown Diamond, because this is what they do. You have to buy $1,000 of product a month, but you're guaranteed to hit like silver. So she stacked all the way down. She put 6 people under. She put your line basically in place under each person. So a lot of Young Living people will not stack below 6 levels down, because that's when they stop getting paid commission. She basically just did. She had her 6 on her front line. Then she goes 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Then she goes 6, 6, 6. And so she went to Royal Crown Diamond in 15 months. And so, but what they have to do is, to get their group volume, they all buy $1,000 of product a month. And so that's how they all jumped to very high levels in Young Living. It's twisty. It's twisty as hell. Lindsay Teague is the lady who came up with that system. And she is like a motivational speaker now.
And that's like legal for their policies and procedures and everything.
Yeah, if no one finds out about it. But there's a video that she has from back in the day when she's talking about the money that she makes from Young Living and why her stacking system works. It's so messed up. Messed up.
As far as like for paying out, like if it was under, let's say $1,000 or $100 or whatever, I could see them like waiting until the next month or until it gets up to a certain amount, like with Google AdSense, how like they won't pay you out until you reach, what is it, 1,000 or
yeah,
yeah, or
yeah. So for YouTube, it's 100. It's 100. Yeah.
And then I just added a 0. And so if you don't make it that month, they'll just roll it over until the next month until you reach that 100 mark, and then they'll pay out. Probably because of like fees that they have to pay for that. It just makes sense. Yep. But like you're not paying YouTube in order to get paid.
Yeah. And to be fair, some people some people stream just from their phone, which is incredible. And you can stream and have a YouTube channel just from your cell phone. That's obviously a cost. You have to pay for your cell phone bill to do that. I get that. There's some cost associated with making YouTube content, but I don't have to buy $100 worth of YouTube memberships to access $100 worth of ad revenue that I'm getting because people are watching my content. That is the big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
Yep.
Okay. Where is it?
I think. Oh yeah, we're on the next page. Sorry, that's me.
Okay.
I think we're on line 2. Yeah.
Oh no, I asked about personal volume.
Oh. Yes. Okay. So we're at line 9. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that your personal volume began to go down significantly from 2007 on?
Yes.
I want to, if you could put up Exhibit 61 for us. Exhibit 61, you were asked some questions about this by Mr. Straight. He focused on this entered April 17, 2008 date. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
Do you have a recollection of when your husband committed to be part of doTERRA?
You mean when she committed her husband to being part of doTERRA? I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
I remember specifically when he heard that Dr. Hill was part of the company. Dave Sterling, Emily Wright, he wanted to be a part. He wanted to be part of the company because of them. My husband had a relationship with Dr. Hill, and we all loved Dr. Hill. And Dr. Hill was a great guy, and my husband developed a relationship with him. And they got along really great. And my husband just, with his mortgage industry, with the way the economy was back then, the mortgage, he would work all day long and work on docs for loans. In those loans, everything was changing in that particular arena in 2007 to 2008. Things were changing a lot in his business. So I know he was looking for an opportunity to help provide for the family.
Let me stop you there and pull up Exhibit 21, page 102. I want to ask you some questions. Let's pull up line 214, please. Look at line 214. Do you recognize a phone number there?
That's my husband's cell phone.
Okay, and you'll see that that was a 34-minute call. I'll represent to you Exhibit 21. I'll represent to you Exhibit 21 are the phone records of Justin Harrison. And your husband testified yesterday to a phone call that he had with Mr. Harrison on February 8th. Were you present or when that phone call occurred with your husband?
Not that I'm aware.
Do you recall having a conversation with your husband after this phone call about what his intentions were with regards to doTERRA?
Mr. Strait said objection foundation calls for hearsay and the court sustained the objection. So now Mr. Gaylord is going to ask it a different way.
Let me ask it this way. Do you recall having a conversation with your husband after one on February 8th regarding his conversation with Mr. Harrison?
I believe, and I can't be positive, but I believe for that.
I don't mean to interrupt. I apologize. I'm just asking, do you recall having a conversation with your husband after 1:07 p.m. on February 8th about his call with Justin Harrison?
I believe so, yes.
And did you gain an impression from that conversation with your husband what his plans were to do with regards to an opportunity with doTERRA?
I think if I recall correctly, is my husband was very concerned. Justin was quitting Young Living. I'm looking at the date.
Let me stop you there.
Okay.
So you recall, and part of your impression was you were informed that Justin was going to quit Young Living.
Uh-huh.
And he had informed your husband of that fact?
Yes.
And what other impressions did you gain from your conversation with your husband as to what his plans were, if any, with doTERRA?
Mr. Strait says objection again. Your Honor calls for hearsay. The court said overruled. So then it means that the witness, me, can answer the question.
So I'm not really certain I understand your question.
Okay, let me rephrase it.
Okay.
During your conversation with your husband after this call, did you gain an impression as to what his plans were with regards to committing to join doTERRA?
No.
No? Okay, fair enough. Did there ever come a time when where you gained the understanding that your husband was going to become a distributor or was interested in becoming a distributor at doTERRA? Sorry.
Yes.
And do you have a recollection as to the time frame in which you came to that understanding?
It was pretty early on. I don't know the exact time frame. When he heard Dr. Hill was on board, it was pretty much a done deal then. And when Emily was on board and David Sterling was on board, he was pretty much on board. He knew that there were issues with Young Living.
And Dr. Hill is a chiropractor, right?
Yes, I think he's not a medical doctor, and no shade to chiropractors but
I
they're
mean,
definitely not. They're definitely like to play doctor and
that's
prescribe stuff, and that's the issue. That's the whole issue is going out of your lane to do stuff that you didn't go to school and are not licensed to do, and that's the big issue. And
I have a lot of issues with the nutrition side of things sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, and they do that. A lot of chiropractors will sell you supplements and get you eating
Right.
differently and like pretend to be registered dietitians as well. And they're basically like they go to school to pop people's backs, and then all of a sudden it's supplements, and the next thing it's food, and so then they start seeping into every part of your life, and it's like, okay, it's a different story if you are a registered dietitian chiropractor, or if it's a different story if you're a medical doctor it's
Right.
it just it's a whole
scared.
swirly mess. Yes.
Ugh. Okay, let me have you look at page 103, line 236. Pull up 103, 21, 103. I'm sorry, 21, 103, lines 235 and 236. Look at line 235.
Oh my
First
God.
of all, I'll ask if you recognize that phone number, redacted.
That was my husband's Idaho cell phone number and his business that he answered.
Okay. And if you look at the 236, that line, you'll see there's an incoming call. I'll represent again that this is a phone record for Mr. Harrison. So your husband is calling Mr. Harrison around 5:12 p.m. Do you see that on February 9th?
Yes.
Do you recall having a conversation with your husband about after this call in which you gained the impression that he was in with doTERRA, he wanted in?
I'm not sure.
Not having that recollection. Okay, fair enough. Fair to say you can't pin down the date that, well, strike that. Did you have any, as a Young Living distributor, did you have gain any information about rumors going on with regards to the operations of Young Living in terms of what was going on with its executives and or just general rumors that you were hearing through the grapevine?
Mr. Straight says, objection, relevance calls for hearsay. The court overruled the objection, and so me, the witness, Baby Snark, gets to answer.
Yes, I had heard a lot of different things. Yes.
Mr. Gaylord wants the tea. All right.
Yes.
Okay, where did you hear these rumors from? Do you recall?
I think there was just a buzz going because there were people. These were people were respected and looked up to. And to have so many leave, I mean, it was pretty common that, people were leaving. And the door was swinging pretty hard for quite some time at Young Living. But to have so many.
Did you learn that Mr. Sterling was no longer with Young Living?
Yeah, I did.
Did you hear that Miss Wright was no longer associated with Young Living?
Yes.
And did you hear that Mr. Hill, Dr. Hill, was no longer associated with Young Living?
Yes, Young Living also had calls, so they would tell you what's going on in the company. So a lot of times I would listen in to these calls, and they would say, we thank them for their service and wish them well, whatever the case may be. So there were lots of ways to get the information, not only out in the field, but friends, The phone was ringing and people were talking.
Let me explore that just for a moment. You said Young Living would have calls. Explain to the jury what those calls were. They were calls that were set up and notifications went out to all distributors. If you wanted to hear more, is that me answering? Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a response, but okay. They were calls that were set up and notifications went out to all distributors. If you wanted to hear more about what was going on at Young Living, you could call in to a dial-in number and listen.
Not that I recall that it was a dial-in number of any sort. It was actually like a call night per se, and you would call in and they would kind of give you the updates of what was going on.
Was it a recording or was it just somebody on the phone saying, hey, let me tell you what's going on?
It was not a recording as far as I recall. It was a specific call night where they actually, you could call in and get what was going on. And it was somebody telling what updates.
So it was a meeting. It was just a phone call meeting, basically. Okay. And during those calls, you would be informed that so-and-so is no longer associated with Young Living and we wish them the best, that they've gone other places.
Yes.
And would that be true? You heard about Emily Wright or David Sterling's departure through those calls?
I'm not certain where I heard them from. It could have been those calls. It could have been. I just am not certain where I got that information from.
Is that, oh, it's the next page. Okay. Okay. And you had heard that Dr. Hill had left, right?
Yes.
And did you have any communications with Dr. Hill after he left Young Living? Do you recall?
Yes.
Do you recall when those conversations may have occurred?
I know that, he's a smart man, so I remember calling specifically regarding the e-power machine.
Do you remember when that call occurred?
I don't.
Let's pull up Exhibit 21, line 102. No, not that. Do you recall, strike that. So you reached out to Dr. Hill to offer him an opportunity about the e-power?
With HTE, yes.
Do you recall when that call occurred?
Not for certain.
Okay. Do you recall whether it was in October of 2007?
That would be close to the time frame. Maybe yes.
Your Honor, may I vote for a bathroom run about now?
Okay, we can skip all this. Okay, so the court says, thank you, you may be seated. We are back on the record and we'll commence with cross-examination. Go ahead, Mr. Gaylord, line 23.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Herbert, when we broke, I was asking you about some communications you had with Mr. Hill over the possibility of having him be a distributor over or at HTE. Is that right?
Yes.
You couldn't quite recall the date, right?
Yes.
Let me show you a document and ask you to just look at it yourself.
Okay.
There's the date on the document. I want to pay particular attention to that. I want you to pay particular attention to that.
November 8th. Yeah, November 8th.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm being thirsty. I sent him an email.
Yes. Let me just ask, does that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take that away from you. Based on your memory being refreshed, do you recall the date of that email?
November 8th.
And what was that time that you and Mr. Hill had a call about his potentially joining doTERRA? Not doTERRA, joining HTE.
Yes.
And you had a lengthy conversation with him over the phone about that?
Yes, and I think it was more actually about the e-power machine than anything actually. I mean, it was, yes, the opportunity, but it was more the science and the health benefits of the e-power machine.
So that right there tells us, like, he's not, his health professionalness is
in question.
Yeah. And the reason you were having the conversation with Mr. Hill, Dr. Hill, was because you felt he had good knowledge about the benefits of what that product might provide?
Yes.
That was that belt thing, right?
Yep, it was.
And you were reaching out to him for his expertise?
Actually hoping that he would become part of
HTE?
HTE.
Okay, fair enough. Did he become part of HTE?
Not that I recall.
During your call with Mr. Hill, Dr. Hill, did you ever discuss doTERRA with him?
Not that I recall.
There's been testimony in this case about a meeting at Gina Truman's house on February 28th, 2008. First of all, do you know who Gina Truman is?
Yes.
And when were you first introduced to Ms. Truman?
I met Gina... Carol with a K. Carol is Gina's mom, Carol Truman, Carol and Boyd Truman, and they introduced me.
Okay, and that was before February of 2008?
Yes.
Before fall of 2007?
Yes.
Where did Gina Truman live?
She lived in St. George.
Okay, did you attend a meeting at Gina Truman's house on February 28th, 2008?
No.
Do you know whether your husband attended that meeting?
I believe yes, he attended.
And did you have an understanding that your husband had already, in essence, committed to participating in doTERRA, in the doTERRA opportunity by the time this meeting occurred?
Mr. Straight says objection, foundation. The court overruled the objection, so Baby Snark gets to answer.
I know I know he wanted to be part of the company.
Before that meeting?
Yeah, yes.
I asked you who Greg Anderson. He's your
Brother? Yes.
And where does Greg Anderson live?
He lives in Idaho Falls.
He has a wife named Carmen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And do you recall a time when Greg and Carmen stopped by your house in the spring of 2008?
I do, yes.
And was that a visit that was planned, or did they just stop by on the way home from St. George?
They called and said they were in the area and they wanted to stop by.
They stopped by, right?
Uh-huh.
And can you recount what happened during that visit?
I know it was Carmen's birthday and that kind of thing.
It was Carmen's birthday?
On April 3rd, if I recall correctly, correct. And they went to Vegas, if I recall.
And on the way back, they stopped by your house?
Yes.
Do you recall them stopping on April 6th?
That would be the time frame, yes.
Okay. And when they stopped by, who was at the home? You or your husband?
Yes.
Anyone else?
No.
Do you recall showing them any oils during that visit?
My husband did.
And what oils were they that he showed them? Do you recall?
I believe it was frankincense and maybe peppermint, but frankincense for sure. I know.
Okay.
That was my husband's favorite oil. If he had one oil, it would be frankincense.
Okay. And do you remember, did you provide that to Greg Anderson?
My husband did.
Well, and do you recall what his reaction was?
Well, Greg really liked the oils. Yeah, he really liked them. I remember his response, and I thought it was interesting because, he's worked with oils for years and years as well.
Okay, and his response was excited?
Yes, he liked them.
Now, did Justin Harrison ever actively do anything to persuade you to join doTERRA?
No.
You never joined doTERRA?
No. Yes, after Young Living terminated my account. And Young Living terminated a lot of people's account. They went on a hunt. And whoever had enrolled in doTERRA, and doTERRA had maybe a handful of oil at the time. And there was really no competition, really. They had a handful. But basically, they went after anybody that had an account with doTERRA. And they terminated their account. They took their check. They took their organizations.
And they're still doing that to this day. So let me ask you about that. At that time in March of 2013, were you still a Young Living distributor?
March of 2013? I believe that's correct, yes.
You're no longer a Young Living distributor?
No.
And your distributorship was terminated, I think you testified to Mr. Straight?
Yes.
Did you voluntarily terminate it?
No.
So your distributorship was terminated by Young Living?
Yes.
And you have no understanding as to why your distributorship was terminated?
They never returned my calls.
Did you know, as a Young Living distributor, you were required to comply with Young Living's policies and procedures?
Yes.
Did you violate Young Living's policies and procedures?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay. You understood that as a result of your termination was involuntary, right? You didn't ask to be terminated?
Right. They had a lot of good products, and I referred people to some of their products on a regular basis.
So as a result of the termination, you lost your rights in and the business you developed while you were at Young Living?
That's true.
The business rolled up to your upline sponsor?
Yes.
And they provided you no examination or warning before they terminated you?
No warning, no explanation.
Thank you. That is all I have.
And then Mr. Smith says, Your Honor, may inquire. And then the court says, go ahead. So this is additional cross-examination. If you don't understand, there's multiple parties involved. Like there's 2 different law firms representing the defendants, and then there's one law firm for Young Living, and so we get multiple cross-examinations. Do you want to keep going, or do we need to stop?
How much is it?
Okay, this is $12.79. Let me exit the presentation mode and see.
I have the redirect by straight at, it says $13.11.
Okay.
So that would be about 21 pages, I think.
Yep. Or we can stop for today if you want. I don't know what
We've been at almost an hour and a half.
Uh-oh, I just closed out my Chrome. Whoops.
No.
That's okay. Let me open it back up. Sorry. User error. DC. Technical difficulties. Aisle 1. Okay. New. Let me go.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, let me put the live chat on. Let's take a chat break because y'all are the best part of live streaming. The amount of tea and shade she has thrown, and HTE, I want to look into that multi-level marketing company too, because what the flippity flop? Okay, let me go to Google Drive.
HTE MLM.
All right.
Google says, "Did you mean the MLM?"
No, oh my
HTE.
God.
It's not popping up.
Let's see.
It just keeps saying the MLM.
HTE.
What was it? ePower?
Yes.
Still not popping up. I see like the power of MLM. An energy MLM for power. Weird.
I am lagging. Sorry. Let me just quit some of my programs.
Oh no.
Sorry. Ugh. I'm closing them out. Chrome's being.
Oh no. We lost her. I think we did. Oh no, it's just me. I am not prepared for this. Okay. So the cross-examination, that one's the next one by Mr. Smith. I thought, okay. And then that goes until, let me scroll really quick. 1311.
Oh God.
Yeah, just because that goes to 1311, I think that'll be a lot.
Yeah. So we should pause it for next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my computer's just being. This happens every stream. I think it's the spirit of Gary Young. I'm just kidding. This is a joke. Oh, Kat, did you know that I have stories from a former Young Living distributor who believes that her oils are possessed and that haunted her house because she claims that Mary Young has been having seances to call on the spirit of Gary Young so that they can make new oil combinations.
I saw your note about it, your message.
I have the stories, so
what?
I'm gonna, it's wild.
When are you gonna?
I'm gonna have to do I have to do a stream at some point, but I was like, this is wild. But we also heard kind of rumblings of that with other people saying that they didn't like how Young Living was being run after Gary left. But I'm like, that maybe is an interesting claim.
A full stream. What?
Yeah. So live chat. If you want Kat to do the stream with me, drop purple hearts in the chat, and we can set it up at some point.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I'm gonna drop a purple heart. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna drop my own purple heart and live chat. If you here's Kat's channel.
Please.
If you oops, I accidentally put that in your chat too. The Nightbot will put her.
There we go. We have one purple heart. Thanks, Nikki.
That's okay. No, you're good. No, here we go. Purple heart's coming through.
Hold on.
Nightbot. Here we go. Nightbot on the screen. Kat's channel's right here.
That Nikki Regs design. She makes some really cute stickers. And this one is my favorite. It says rest is productive.
Oh my god, I love it.
I just need like inside of my brain.
Nikki, what let me
On Etsy.
Oh my god. Let us send us your link to your shop, and we'd love to.
Oh
my god, I love it so much. We'll put your channel, your business on the channel next stream.
Rest
Oh my
is
gosh.
productive.
Okay, we're doing it. I'm taking the hearts. We have like 30 hearts in the chat right
Yay!
now.
Okay.
So we'll have to do I know we can make it a spooky like seance-y oils, cover and everything. Have fun with that.
I have my spooky.
It's so cute. It's so cute. Oh my god.
Spooky.
Oh my gosh, love that for you, Daisy.
Yeah.
Zoomies are the cutest. Is your cat still behind you? Cat?
No, I'm
She
sitting
left?
there.
Oh, okay.
She's in front now.
You know what? I have a bat signal whenever I'm like, call cat or call whoever. I'm going to make one that looks like the Batman signal but has a cat on it for you.
Oh my goodness.
Because, yeah, it was like, that would be the best. Yes. Live chat, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We're going to be back to hopefully our regularly scheduled Young Living tea streams. And yeah, so when are we gonna stream next, Kat? We just need to figure it out.
I know we were normally doing Wednesdays and Saturdays. This Wednesday, though, I'll be talking to Jen Barusso's group.
Awesome.
Yeah, just about like implementing that more of like gentle nutrition aspect of things. And so that'll be on Wednesday evening when we would typically meet.
So we could probably do it next Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So y'all, if you like these kind of streams, I'm also trying to go back and like recap them. I've only successfully done 2 Snark Notes streams, basically trying to shorten these, but yeah, we'll be back with our long content next Saturday. So thank you so much for joining us. In Replay Crew, much non-culty love to you. If you haven't liked the streams, we will take a like at this point. And if you didn't like the stream, feel free to leave us a comment that we can respond to, because any interaction is actually good interaction for our channels. But yeah, we would take a like. And if you, again, I put Nightbot in the chat for Cats. If you don't already follow Kat Benson, she and Kira and Savannah and Amanda and other people took down Black Oxygen Organics. Did a lot of work. A lot of people did that, and so she's been in the space for a long time, and she specifically debunks the science woo-woo that we see in lots of health and wellness multi-level marketing companies. So she's an incredible follow. So definitely, if you don't already follow her, you should follow her. So yes, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next live stream. I need to make us an outro for our Young Living doTERRA stream, so we can have a little like sub to our channel. So I need to do that today. But okay, all right. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just talking.
I was gonna say, if anyone's on my channel who hasn't subscribed to you, I wish I had a Nightbot, but I don't have a Nightbot, so I can't.
Oh no.
Push them over to you. But
yep, you're good.
DC, because the live streams, content consistency.
Yeah, I do live stream more than I sleep. So if you are ever have struggled with insomnia and want to join the late night live crew, it's sometimes a good time. Mostly technical difficulties happen, but it just keeps me humble, and I love that. So it's always a good time. We play games, we do craft streams, and we always kind of look at multi-level marketing content and try to debunk it in a mostly respectful / snarky way. So yeah. Yep. All right. Bye, okay, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your Saturday or whenever you're watching this, and we'll catch you next time. So bye. Okay, let me end